Hello and welcome to Reflections from Paisley Abbey on this Tuesday, the 7th of July. In the readings allocated for today, we read in the Gospel of St. Luke, chapter 18. Then Jesus told them a parable about their need to pray always and not to lose heart. He said, "In a certain city there was a judge who neither feared God nor had respect for people. In that city there was a widow who kept coming to him and saying, 'Grant me justice against my opponent.' For a while he refused, but later he said to himself, 'Though I have no fear of God and no respect for anyone, yet because this widow keeps bothering me, I will grant her justice, so that she may not wear me out by continually coming.' And the Lord said, 'Listen to what the unjust judge says. And will not God grant justice to his chosen ones who cry to him day and night? Will he delay long in helping them? I tell you, he will quickly grant justice to them. And yet, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on earth?' Amen." The parable of the unjust judge, also known as the parable of the importunate widow or the parable of the persistent widow, is one of the parables of Jesus which appears in the Gospel of St. Luke. Some scholars insist that this title was added by Luke and was designed to speak to his own community. The author was writing at the end of the first century, some 60 to 80 years after the life of Jesus of Nazareth, and during this time the Roman authorities were persecuting Jewish and Christian communities. It would have been very hard for those facing such persecution not to lose heart during this time. For the communities hearing and reading about Jesus, such granting of justice to them for their unjust persecution would help them in their endeavours. As people of faith, we have a responsibility to those who are oppressed and suffering from unjust treatment. We have seen, particularly during these trying times of pandemic, how the resources and wealth of the world are not evenly distributed, and we need to take responsibility for our own part in these injustices. It may not have been down to us as individuals, but we often benefit where others suffer through our ignorance and lack of involvement in what is happening in the world around us. The words of Ruth C. Duck in Like a Pleading Widow. Like a pleading widow, God, you press for right, crying out for justice, calling day and night. Screened in flashing image, begging on the street, God, you never leave us every day we meet. Like a hound of heaven, you pursue us all, tireless in your seeking, ceaseless in your call. Though we draw a circle meant to keep you out, you in love encompass wayward fear and doubt. Oh, how long, my people, will you run away? When will you do justice? Will you still delay? God, we hear you speaking. Help us turn around, so that when you call us, justice may be found. And now let us join together, saying the prayer which Jesus taught to his disciples. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, for ever and ever. Amen.